I have a problem. And what is that problem, you ask? I have too many books on my bookshelf that I have yet to read. I know that there are so many fantastic stories that are just waiting on me to pick them up and open them. So what's the problem? Me. I'm the problem. I am way too easily distracted by the newest, shiniest book or the new big release that has come out that everybody else is talking about that I just have to be in on the conversation. I know, I get it, and I'm not immune to it. So how do we fix this problem? With your help. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to let you guys choose my TBR for December. How do we do that? Do we just need to sit down and go through every book on my shelf and say, have you read this? Have you read that? No. Instead, what do? We go to the bookstore. So we're going to go to the bookstore and we're going to pick out some books for the same reason that I picked them up to begin with, in large part because of the cover. So we're going to go to the bookstore. We're going to see which books jump out at me just like they would as if I didn't already own them. And those will be the books that we pick for my TBR. Here's the catch. I'm not going to choose. You are. So the plan is to pick a total of 7 books that I already own, if at all possible, and then to let you guys vote on which ones I should read. And out of those 7, the top 2 I'm going to force myself to read in the month of December, regardless of what they are. So let's go for a ride and pick some books that are already causing my TBR to overflow and maybe thin the herd a little bit. To the bookstore. All right, so I'm going to need you guys' help on this one. So let's start out with some of the new releases. I'm curious about this new Witcher book because the other ones didn't really work for me. But I'm kind of waiting to see what the reviews say about this one because it very well could be something that I am interested in, but I'm not going to quite add it to the TBR just yet. So let's go check out my usual section. That is super cool. Okay, so I think we found our first contender, and that's going to be Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. So I think they said this is like Red Rising meets Gladiator. So this has been on my TBR for a while, and I do really want to get to this because I know that the author is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which was a green flag for me. And on top of that, it just sounded really cool, and the covers look great. So yeah, I think let's go with Combat Codes for option number 1. Okay, so I've definitely found book number 2. It's part of a duology, and book 2 just released. And Jonathan Cohen has really hyped me up on this book. And so this is going to be Batman Resurrection. So this is an independent Batman story in the Michael Keaton Batman universe, written by John Jackson Miller, who also wrote Kenobi, which you guys know how much I love that book. But Jonathan has just raved about this book. So yeah, that's going to be option number 2. That's going to be a real strong contender for me. So Batman Resurrection, because Batman Revolution, which is this one here, man, I really want to get to that. It's actually, both of these are on my Christmas list. So yeah, I'm going to say Batman Resurrection is book number 2. Okay, we've got 2 more here. The first one is going to be The Aeronaut's Windlass by Jim Butcher. This is book 1 of the Cinder Spires. You guys know how much I love Jim Butcher. I do really want to get to this. It is pretty thick, but this is one that's been on my TBR for quite a while. From what I understand, it's like steampunk fantasy, which sounds awesome. Yeah, how can I not add it to the list? Book number 3, which is kind of funny because book number 4 is going to be right beside it, which is going to be written by his son, which is Dead Man's Hand. So this is book 1 in the Unorthodox Chronicles. I actually own both of these and have yet to read them, and they're pretty thin. So we're going to say this is book 3 and book 4. So we got Aeronaut's Windlass, book 1 of the Cinder Spires by Jim Butcher, and Dead Man's Hand, which is book 1 of the Unorthodox Chronicles by James J. Butcher. Ooh, okay, I just spotted one. All right, this one's for you, Sam. You keep talking about it, so let's go ahead and add to the list The Radiant King by David Dalglish. This one sounds pretty brutal. I don't know a lot about it. This cover is super cool, though. I've heard that this is for fans of Berserk, which, you know, I got like a page into Berserk and realized that's just not going to be a story for me. But I know that Sam has just raved about this book as well. So The Radiant King is going to be book number 4.
Where did you learn to count?
Okay, so here's one that I've got on my TBR that I have scheduled to read next year, if not in December. So I'm not going to count this one, but we are going to say Malice by John Gwynne. So this is going to be my main focus for December, unless for some reason I can't get to the last book in Sun Eater. So I'll just catch up Shadows Upon Time in December if that's the case. But otherwise, Malice by John Gwynne is going to be my main fantasy read for the month of December. So here's one that's been on my list for a while. I don't think I want to add it to the list quite yet, though, which is The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch. This one has been on my bookshelf for quite a while. Just haven't taken the plunge yet, so I'm not going to necessarily count this one as book number 5, but I will say, if you guys want it, let me know, because I know some of you have asked me about doing a review of this book. I just haven't read it yet. But yeah, if this is one that you guys maybe are interested in, just leave me a comment and let me know. So another one that's been on the list for a while, and it was just honestly one of those books I picked up because of the cover, is going to be Sons of Darkness by Gaurav Mohanty. This one has been on my shelf for probably about a year, and I haven't gotten to it yet because that thing is super thick. So I don't want to add this to the list quite yet, because I do plan on picking this up sometime next year. But that is one that is on my TBR that just keeps piling up. Okay, so book number 5 is going to be book number 1 in the Legend of Drizzt series. This is Homeland. I actually have the first trilogy in that one volume. But yeah, this may be a good shout too, because I know this is a very good, fast, kind of traditional fantasy read. So yeah, let's count Homeland by R.A. Salvatore, which is book 1 of the Drizzt saga. Okay, so I'm going to do this one for my brother Sam. We'll see how it goes. This is not going to be added to the list, but I am going to pick a book up today, and it's going to be, yeah, the first half of Book of the New Sun. So Shadow and Claw. Yeah, so looking at the first half. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one up today. Shout out to my brother Sam. Yeah, let's hope that I love it. Okay, and I just want to show you guys something. Number 1, because I think it's funny, and number 2, because I want you guys to know that this is a book series for everybody. So we are currently in the science fiction section, and if you look, we have here Helen Dark, Demon in White. We move on down to the fantasy section, and what do we have here? Kingdoms of Death, Ashes of Man, Disquiet Gods. So yeah, guys, Sun Eater, it's a series for everybody, whether you like science fiction, whether you like fantasy, or you just love stories of political intrigue. Yeah, Sun Eater is for everyone. So another genre that I have really enjoyed and wanted to get more into, but just haven't been able to due to the usual content that is steeped into the genre, and that is horror. Yeah, I would love to get more into some horror novels. I'm not meaning like, oh, I want to get into horror, but some horror novels really work for me, and I just really haven't found many. One of them, obviously, is going to be Dracula. It's one of my favorite stories of all time, but another one was Frankenstein. And after looking for about 10 minutes, yeah, Barnes & Noble, I think, has just come up a little short for me in the horror section. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see, but like, that's the horror section. So most of the stuff is stuff like this that I just know is not going to work for me. So I think I'm just going to have to move on to a different genre, well, at least for the time being, because there are a few horror novels out there that sounded good, like Dan Simmons' Summer of Night. I did want to get to that at some point, but yeah, they unfortunately don't have it today, so I won't be adding it to the list. Okay, so I've got another one that I would like to add to the list, and this is going to be more of a hard sci-fi. I actually own this book already, so fortunately I won't have to pick it up if you guys choose it. But this is going to be in the Alien universe, and it is Aliens Phalanx. Phalanx? Phalanx. I think is how you pronounce it. Anyway, this is, if I'm not mistaken, imagine the xenomorphs land on a planet which is still in the medieval ages, and it's a standalone, and they said it's a very easy read. So this is definitely going to border on that sci-fi and horror genre, so maybe this is a good shout. So let's add this to the list as book number 6. I do already own this one, and it did look good, especially with it being a standalone. So yeah, let's count this one. Okay, and I think I would be remiss if I didn't add a Star Wars novel, and so this is another one that I own at home. So if you guys choose it, it's another one that I won't have to pick up because it's already sitting on my bookshelves. So this one's gonna be Star Wars Death Troopers by Joe Schreiber. I have heard mixed things on this one. The cover is really cool. I actually think I prefer the other cover, the older cover, which I may or may not put up somewhere on the screen. But yeah, this one is super thin, so this may be a good pick. So this is going to be book number 7. Okay, and for my 2 non-sci-fi and fantasy books, the first one is going to be, I actually purchased it at a thrift store for $3, and it's signed, which is crazy because the author has since passed away, and that is going to be The Night Manager by John Le Carre. I guess that's how you pronounce it. So my wife and I watched the TV series The Night Manager, and I absolutely loved it. And I had no idea that it was based on a novel. And so I have a signed hardcover edition of this at home that has been sitting on my TBR for quite a while. So yeah, this is wild card number 1. And for wild card number 2, it's going to be actually right next to John Le Carre, which is going to be Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. I absolutely loved this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Such a crazy mystery thriller. So I really want to get to the novel. For a good friend of mine over on Instagram, Books of Bellwood, has mentioned this novel quite a few times. And yeah, so it has just absolutely piqued my interest, number 1, because I love the movie. And so I do know, the story is kind of spoiled for me, but that does not mean that I can't enjoy it while I'm reading it, especially since it's really not very long. So yeah, this is going to be wild card number 2, which is going to be my final book. So Shutter Island, Dennis Lehane is going to be wild card number 2, which is going to be my final book. And we're back. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I am sorry that I do not know how to count. So overall we picked 10 books. And out of those 10 books, I'm going to let you guys vote down in the comment section of this video. And the top 2 books that you guys pick, I will be reading in the month of December. So just for a recap of what those books are, book number 1 is going to be Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. Book number 2 is going to be Batman Resurrection by John Jackson Miller. Book number 3 is The Aeronaut's Windlass. This is book 1 of the Cinder Spires by Jim Butcher. Book number 4 is Dead Man's Hand. This is by James J. Butcher. Book number 5 is going to be The Radiant King by David Dalglish. Book number 6 is Homeland, which is the first book in the Drizzt saga by R.A. Salvatore. Book number 7 is Aliens Phalanx, which is by Scott Siegler. Book number 8 is Star Wars Death Troopers by Joe Schreiber. And then my 2 wild cards were The Night Manager by John Le Carre and Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. So yeah, those are the 10 books that you guys have to choose from. So if you want to vote for your top 2 books, feel free to do so. So I'll count each vote individually. So yeah, vote for your top 2 favorite out of this list. And I will probably make a post probably a week from today, maybe 2 weeks from today, of which books that you guys chose for me to read. I'm really looking forward to all these. So I don't think I'll be disappointed with any of these books. especially in the month of December, because the month of December, I'm kind of going to just read whatever I want. It's going to be a lot of one-offs, I think, maybe with one exception. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just going to be reaching for things that just sound good to me, because I'm going to have some time at home, some time to just kick back and relax, and hopefully read some good books. And leave me a comment down below of what your top 2 picks are out of these 10. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me, going on this journey with me. Let me know if you like these types of videos, because if you do, I'll definitely do more of them. I think they're pretty fun. So thank you guys again so much for coming and hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you on the next one.